Welcome back, everybody, to the ROG Masters. I'm Tubby1, joined by Gareth. We're your really exciting casters for today.
I mean, I am. I don't know about him. We have no idea what he's here for.
We're thrilling. We've been tilted. We've been tossed. No tiny specs actually yet. I was trying to think.
There's someone under the desk that we've been tossed. What?
No.
Phrasing, Toby.
That's not phrasing.
We're not doing phrasing.
Like
words.
That. Like, there's no way that's... Can we just bring up the bracket? And we'll tell everyone exactly where we are. So, we're in the finals. We're in the finals.
Of the first phase.
Of the first phase, yes. We should actually probably be jumping into our second part of the bracket. As we've managed to have MVP get all the way through, and they're up against a team which is tagged up as... yeah, here we go. So... they're tagged up as MOL on here, and inside the game they're TT, Team... I almost want to say Taviana. So, it's an armor map. They're tagged up.
You are obsessed. You are fully obsessed. Right, when we went to Croatia, when we went to Croatia, we flew in and we had like two changeovers. We flew to Zagreb, and then we flew to Split. Yeah. And we landed in Zagreb. Yeah. And there's this, kind of oldish looking radio tower, and we're like, yeah, it looks pretty cool out here. Yeah. Get into a bus, and Toby's like, oh, I feel like I'm in armor, man. He's like shaking, he's got withdrawal symptoms, like, oh, I'm in armor, there's like army planes, and there's radio towers, I just want to get a gun out and start shooting people. Toby?
No, ignore the last part of that one.
Yeah, I made that bit up.
Yes.
But I knew he was thinking
I definitely did not say that last part.
He was thinking
But there was like a military helo right next to like one of the old airport towers. It looked really, really cool. I actually loved my time in Croatia. I really wish I can go back for a bit of a holiday.
There are heroes being picked.
Yeah, let's go to the draft.
That's sad, dude.
Yeah, that was good times. That was good times with Dota Pit. Should do it again sometime.
It was fun.
Yeah, love Croatia. Shout out to anyone who's tuning in from Croatia. But probably we have everyone tuning in from down in Southeast Asia right now. And surrounding regions. As Haskell gets banned, no tilt for us.
Radiant team banned.
The first pick Darks here, Oracle. I just don't understand first pick Darks here.
In a way, okay.
Is this a Mongolian thing?
If we want to find some logic in this, Oracle does counter Darkseer very hard. False Promise removes the Iron Shot completely. You have no lane presence at all.
Okay, so that makes sense as to why they picked Oracle.
Dire team banned.
I'm just giving you one reason why maybe they've done it. The combination doesn't really seem to work that well, and then when you also second pick it up like this, the only other thing I'm thinking of is they get something like a Death Prophet, and you look for that big Crypt Swarm into big team fight style push, and the Oracle babysits. That's the only other one I could think of next to the Huskar, who has already got banned. But then you also ban out the Sven, who would be a great hero for you. You have both Death Prophet as well as Sven on your lineup. Combining up with the Darkseer, then these combos will work. But yes, I don't think there is much logic behind the first two.
I think it might just be one of those kind of weird macro microsystems where in Mongolia and the kind of meta they formed for themselves, Darkseer has become a heavily contested pick. And these teams fight over it, and they feel like it's still worth the first phase, even though everyone else on the planet thinks Darkseer is not worth it.
It's maybe. It is right that some regions run different metas where older other counters are not used. They're just simply not used because they just either don't know or they don't care.
We'll see what they do with it. Yeah. MVP Hot 6 are like this though. Shadow Demon Axe. We used to see a lot of aggro lanes with SD Axe where you disrupt into call and there's no way of escaping from it. You used to see a lot of Dazzle added into that as well, just for the heal bomb with the illusions, but Dazzle hasn't really been a hot pick as of late.
Reserve time.
He really hasn't. And this game doesn't make much sense. Ogre will kick in, so this is an Axe 3 position. So no extra support, just Ogre and Shadow Demon together. They could run support in the offlane, but we'll see how the rest of the lanes work out. Ogre was doing a lot of rotating for MVP previously, so we may be back to that like early boots. Ogre gets a level up of Ignite, combining it with a Call of the Axe could do a lot of work, and a Morphling pickup. Very surviving, but I'm very concerned, and I don't know if you share this concern, that it's going to take way too long.
This is a pub draft.
For Mongolia to come online. I think it's going to take them way too long. Morphling, Invoker, Darkseer. We're talking about this in the Darkseer game before. Darkseer, you need Mech, you need Blink Dagger, you need these critical items before you can be part of the fight. Invoker needs to scale, which means he needs to get a really good laning phase. If he doesn't get that, then you're looking at a 13, 14-minute Midas, and then you still need time to build up. And then you get a Morphling. Hero could do some work if he's got good supports with it, but he still also needs time to build up because he gets like Lincoln Sphere and then Yasha, then something else. Like
this is like a 45 to 50-minute plus lineup from the Mongolians.
And then you run it against a team like MVP. Like even if this isn't the core MVP squad, this is the Hot 6 version of MVP. They still seem to have this same kind of spice to them, like to each of the teams, where you go for this really earlier timed aggression.
Especially in best of ones, it's so important to have like your own style and a game plan. A lot of teams at this level like to kind of rely on individual skill and think, right, we can outplay them on this lane. We've got a Morphling that can scale well. We've got an Invoker who can split push, and they've got all of these kind of backup plans ready. But you need plan A. Like there's a definite lack of plan A here, I feel, for the Radiant team. They've got lots of plan Bs and Cs and all the way through to Z.
How do you make a plan A with just one support here?
Yeah, it's very difficult.
And you need a roaming style support hero, because if Invoker doesn't have help, Ogre and SD are going to crap all over him.
10 seconds
the Oracle TPing in will end up with just another death.
Which is why I do wonder
5 seconds
if it's going to be a Wex Invoker.
You want to run a Wex Invoker, you're going to have no damage.
Reserve time.
The way I'm looking at this is like they need to delay the game, right?
Until the Morphling is big enough? You need to delay 50 minutes for him to 1v1 a Lifestealer.
If we look at this 4v4 right now, they lose laning stage.
Yeah.
And they lose the first 20 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
So they need someone who can force the game to last longer than 20 minutes and make sure MVP don't just end it at 20 minutes. And right now, a 4-role support or a 5-role support is not going to be able to do that. You need one of your cores to do that. Even with an Earth Spirit who gives you some kind of confidence in lane, you've got like Ogre and Shadow Demon roaming around who can counteract his movements. I think this is a heavy outdraft.
It feels that way. Storm Spirit's like that icing on the cake kind of pick. Like he's the last one that you can get in, which is going to give you the initiation by just having level 6 that can combine up with a Lifestealer. Lifestealer could ancient them at this point. If they get enough space, the Axe will get his farm. They're not really terrific at bringing down towers. But once the Lifestealer picks up something like a Desolator, they can still take out the towers. Like the negative armor effect's going to be working there. They get map control. They open up Roshan. And Roshan's very easy with this draft just because of the Lifestealer.
They're like tanky enough to fight behind towers, though. Like you just run in behind tier 1s, tank creep wave, you creep skip with like an axe.
Do you just creep skip this out?
Potentially. So Earth Spirit's going to be focusing a lot on the mid lane, right? It's going to be...
Oh, he has to, yeah.
It's going to be like Oracle plus Morphling on the bot lane. But we can have a look and see exactly where they send their heroes.
Yeah, we'll find out. Earth Spirit puts down an early observer ward just to watch the top area. That at least let the offlaner know if someone's rotating over.
Cross first on Invoker.
He was trying to obs the mid. That's greedy. When you obs the top lane and then you think you can walk down the river to obs ward the mid, you at least block Ogre from doing his observer ward under the cover of smoke. But yeah.
That poor Oracle. That is the hard 5. That is the hardest of hard fives, actually, Toby.
The two tango.
That is
he gave his other two tangos to the mid.
I know.
Buys all couriers, buys all wards.
I know this feeling because I play pub games, and sometimes you just have to pick, that fifth pick Dazzle or the fifth pick Oracle because you have a jungle Legion and you have, people. Like I said, this draft to me feels like a pub game. Like it.
I hate it. It's an high-end talent, Darkseer.
The battle
It feels disgusting to get an Iron Shell in, the boulder forward, the Storm Spirit, well, he's dropping down low. If they got enough damage, the poison's over on the Earth Spirit. First blood, it is going to go the way of TT, but how much more do they lose? I don't know why we also have Feast leveled up at level 1 for the Lifestealer, but it's enough, no open wounds. The False Promise, not the False Promise, the Face Edict to hold him in. It's a double kill for Mentally Broken. Now down towards the Oracle, the boulder back in again, the Earth Spirit wants to fight. Cold Snap again, going to work over on the Ogre, but Lifestealer walks up. One more attack. Can he actually get it? He's got it. There we go. Oracle will drop. Ogre's up the hill and far away. Boulder's off cooldown in 1 second time, and Ogre somehow has to dodge this. In fact, they will dodge it because you'll disengage from the Earth Spirit. He's backing up, but Lifestealer is still sitting up there in the river. They can poison forward. Realize the Earth Spirit's coming in. They won't care. They have to get to their laning phase. But the Invoker somehow managed to find himself a double kill in that lane.
Still, though, he's burned through his first tango. He took a lot of extra damage from the Lifestealer, and who did the bounty runes go to? Morphling took one to bot lane, but I don't know who took the one up on...
Storm Spirit.
Was it Storm Spirit?
I'm fairly certain it was Storm Spirit. I think I saw that one and called it during the fight.
But this becomes incredibly messy for the Radiant.
I just still can't believe Lifestealer went into that fight with just Feast. Like, you'd expect him to have open wounds, so the rest of his team can also benefit from the lifesteal.
Like, open wounds level 1, it's a high mana cost and relatively long cooldown, 24 seconds, so you'd only get 1 open wounds out during the fight.
So Feast would give you more?
More damage. I mean, it wouldn't give you more lifesteal, because obviously, like you just said, it would give your teammates lifesteal if you have an open wounds, but Feast gives you more damage for sure.
They missed the obs on top lane. And I believe they actually blocked up their own camp with that sentry. Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they don't want Darkseer to farm that one up.
Well, the Darkseer's not even doing that. Like, Darkseer just said, screw this already. Like, when he put an Iron Shell, he was already saying, I'm not going to the top lane. Like, all he wanted to do at that point is go jungle. Iron Talon it up and just Iron Shell as much as he possibly can. They're trying to slow down the Axe on the bot lane, but he's pulling creep waves over. He's hoping he'll spin and take out his little farm stack. In the meantime, he's leeching a lot of experience. The Earth Spirit's not going to try and play crit style. Stay on the off lane if trouble comes to you, rolling boulder away.
Not sure I like that. They need to apply as much pressure as they can to the Storm Spirit early on.
Oracle? Ogre's coming in, and Oracle ran the wrong way. He had to run straight down if he was going to survive this. With the call, this is a very easy, quick kill for the Axe.
Like that there happens because Earth Spirit went top. Like, the domino's going to fall in place. The Earth Spirit goes top, so the Ogre knows Storm's going to do well against an Invoker, doesn't have to sit mid, so the Ogre moves bot. Like, the Ogre realizes he's not needed top, not needed mid, moves bot lane, can go and help the Axe, can get a kill on the Oracle, and apply pressure to Morphling. So you're getting a little bit on your Earth Spirit, and you're losing a lot on your safe lane. You might regain it here with a jump forward, but Axe is very tanky.
Yep. Lets the call go just so he gets the bonus armor, but Oracle doesn't care about that. Pops more magical damage onto his head. So Axe at least has been told that he can't just do whatever the hell he wants to on the lane. Yeah, Earth Spirit. Oh wait, where's the rolling boulder?
He used it. Lifestealer tanked it. Lifestealer managed to position himself just, like, angled himself in and, like, nudged the shoulder in onto the rolling boulder and caught it. Barely scratched on though. Just look at what this Ogre's doing. He cycles back into mid. The Invoker has to go back and pump into Quas, but it is going to be the Wex Invoker, which I like. They needed someone who can kind of drag out this game and apply a little bit of pressure, sort of 10 to 20 minutes in when MVP start to hit their stride. Because this Storm Spirit, if he's left to go out of control and unchecked, he becomes an Oracle Hunter. He will just run around, zipping onto the Oracle, kill him off, and the fights will always start 4v5 for the Radiant.
It's actually hilarious. Because of the clusterbuck that happened in top lane before, like, TT actually have a way they can win their lanes. Because the Invoker got so much out of the lane. The Axe isn't having a great time on bottom. He's now ended up dying twice. So the Morphling is getting more space to farm up. The Earth Spirit rotation hasn't been terrific, but it's bought enough space. The Darkseer has managed to find some levels and some decent farm. Like an Iron Talon and a Soul Ring is enough that he can survive on the offlane for now. He still needs more regeneration than what he's got to be sustainable on that offlane. But he can cause issues for a Lifestealer. Lifestealer having to rage or open wounds to try and stay alive in the lane. It's just if he loses his life for what he's doing, then it's so not worth it. And now into the trees, poison up, starts his TP, and Darkseer, they need the vision, and SD can't get in range for the disruption in time.
Shadow Demon, what are you doing?
The poison's just a little bit too far off. Like, we're in nighttime as well. He had real trouble seeing the Darkseer maneuvering. But it's soon going to be that combo time. Like, Lifestealer is just on the edge of level 6. You add Purge into the mix as well. Maybe there's enough control. And I want to say there's enough control to kill off a Morphling. And I'm wondering what this Morphling's also saving up, or if he just finishes treads now. Or if he's thinking about something more long-term. I don't want to say Midas Morphling.
No.
But he's sitting at, he'll be at 1,300 gold in a second.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Hey, we've said definitely about a lot of things today.
You could consider the Boots of Travel. But you... Like, the thing with Hand of Midas Morphling is that you need slots so bad on Morph. We see Raindrops, Aquila, you need the Treads or the Boots of Travel, and you know, the Perseverance Ultimate Orb. There's just so many little items that build into the bigger ones for later on.
There's a Void Stone. There's Lincoln's.
I'm just going to go for the Lincoln Sphere.
No surprise.
It's just a great all-round item for the Morphling. Gives you the regen you desperately need. And, you know, later on it's going to block out that Storm's Orchid if it does come through. Be interesting to see what Doctor decides is going to be his primary focus, his primary item anyway, is the Bloodstone or the Orchid, or even a Yule Scepter he thinks about. Because this Invoker, he's going to go phase Urn, and he's not showing his hand too early on. You know, that Sage's Mask could be considered to be an Orchid component, but it's going to be the Urn of Shadows. But after this, we've seen a lot of Wex Invokers go for a Hand of Midas. And kind of follow the path of the Exalt Invokers, you know, just spam levels, get as many levels and as much gold as you possibly can to start buffing out your Exalt and get the actual damage after the control of the Wex Invokers kind of waned a little bit. Other than that, other than like trying to go for the hard transition from Wex into Exalt with a Hand of Midas, you can consider the Orchid, the Yules, the Drums, you know, tank up, give yourself a little bit more mobility and utility for your team, and give people the catch. As Lifestealer just rages himself away from the Ion Shelled Earth Spirit Darkseer combination.
It's kind of funny, like this is the old school dual offlane which used to crush absolutely everything, but Lifestealer can see the rolling boulder coming from a mile away, so he just rages up. So you can't just Ion Shell roll in and expect to be able to kill off the Lifestealer. And, well, okay, maybe this is the time. He burns his rage early on to try and survive up against the Ion Shells. Now the boulder comes in, but it's off the mark. So Lifestealer back underneath his tier 1 tower into relative safety.
And they've TP'd Oracle up here as well.
Well, they must really want this kill, but he doesn't have mana. He's got 6 stick charges. He's got mana for another rage. Potentially he can infest in 17 seconds too.
He has Phase, Helm, and Stout.
He's making a break for the tree line.
He's got 8 armor and...
Support's coming over. So they push in. They're giving Darkseer a heal at the moment. SD's coming in. So Lifestealer, the Darkseer wall warp trigger. He'll get a copy of the Lifestealer to work with, and then Tornado EMP combo with a rage forward. The nuke will bring down the SD. Ogre's getting body blocked up too by the Earth Spirit positioning. So they're fine too. They're pushing the Oracle in deep, but they want their secondary nuke onto the Lifestealer. Okay, maybe just start off with the Fate's Edict. Locking the Lifestealer up with the tree lines. Rages, TP's out. The bottle will come in, but it's all too late.
That was a really good bait there by the Radiant team. Because you think about it, Oracle TP's up, and you're like, what the hell are they going to do? They've got Earth Spirit, Darkseer, Oracle. Lifestealer thinks he can kind of run in and TP himself out a little bit later on, but having that Invoker TP up is so important. It gets them multiple kills, but also a tier 1 tower up on the top lane. It doesn't allow Storm Spirit to farm freely anywhere. He gets like a bottled DD down at bottom lane, but Invoker is going to go for this Hand of Midas, and it's going to be at a relatively good time as well. It's 9.5 minutes in now, and he's not too far away from it. As long as he doesn't, slouch and miss out or die too many times in the next 2-3 minutes or so. This, honestly, this Radiant team could turn from being that 40-50 minute kind of market team that I was looking at during the draft to actually just outplaying themselves to victory.
It's just because the lanes haven't gone anywhere near as well as we thought they would. The combo timings of MVP are so late. Like, having a Lifestealer infest into a Storm Spirit early on was what I was searching for. And right now, Lifestealer just feels threatened enough that he actually has to finish his armlet before he could fight. Like, you don't have an armlet on your Lifestealer 10 minutes in when it's a 2-0-2 Lifestealer.
Dire's bottom tower.
He's being out-farmed by a Morphling, who's rapidly approaching that Lincoln Sphere. Once that's up, getting like an early Orchid over on the Storm Spirit, it won't do anything. Like, he could hunt support heroes. That'll be the way to go.
I'm pretty sure you have to go for the Bloodstone at this point. The Orchid has to come out early, like very early, or after Bloodstone. So you need to tank up a lot. But there's always this Axe available in the jungle that's kind of been forgotten. He's left the lane and has been jungling for several minutes now.
Bottom lane, perfect silence timing with the waveform. Storm Spirit needs a little bit of time with the magic wand charges. He's got it.
Scary though.
Yeah.
Very, very scary. He comes down here and he's like, right, I'm going to force the Morphling maybe out of lane, just spam him out with remnants and hits. It's a very good rotation and kind of awareness of where the supports need to be here from the Radiant team.
For me, the test for TT is going to come in just a moment.
Axe Blink.
Yeah,
exactly.
the Axe Blink, the Armlet is now done over on the Lifestealer too. So this is the other upside. Can they survive the control? Like, you're not really getting a lot of control out from the Ogre at the moment. He's more just of a tank which tries to soak up a little bit of damage. The SD is more of an issue, but he does have Purge available now. So this is combo time for MVP. They want to take this fight on bottom lane. Group up, infest up, smoke up, and go for the kills. And they're out of range of that Radiant Obs Ward. Yeah. So this is not an obvious move. So TT, they might be caught with their pants down. Blink in, there's your call. Got the Earth Spirit as well as the Invoker. Two huge connections. The kick will buy a little bit of space with a boulder away, but they'll lose the Oracle and the Invoker. And it was a lifesteal that ended the killing spree on that Invoker.
It's perfect from like every member of MVP, right? We're looking for the combo, but it's not just the Blink call and the Lifestealer jumping out, it's the Shadow Demon. That's like the star of that fight. Disrupting up the Oracle and making sure he can't Force Promise the Invoker, and then is then forced to Force Promise the Earth Spirit, who's basically already dead. And, it's a waste of abilities, but it's a great initiation. Again, great awareness of where they need to go, and that movement from Shadow Demon is perfect. He splits off from the rest of his team. He kind of does this peel away and catches out the Oracle, while top lane, Darkseer, no spot bother.
He's got a TP scroll. He's got no mana, however, and TPing out is not possible. So Storm Spirit can easily chase down a Darkseer up way too far. And solo kills for a Storm Spirit. That's the first one he's managed to claim. But this gives him item progression. And that's the scary thing of it all, right? Like, we still thought, like, TT, they're going to take time to come online. That Hand of Midas with the death of the Invoker gets delayed. He's sitting at 1,100 gold at the moment. They have to give him safe lane farm on the bottom in order to catch up. But once again, MVP is grouping. They're ready to fight. Infest off cooldown in 6 seconds time. The Axe is eager for any opening that TT are willing to give him.
It's that massive spike in momentum and kind of potential from the team. It's just damage out of nowhere. They go from kind of breaking even on their lanes and looking okay to all of a sudden with one item, or the Blink Dagger on the Axe and the Armlet and the Lifestealer being in a dominating position to just go and take any fight they want to, because the items that the Radiant buy are a lot more kind of arduous to build, and they've got more components and more expensive components. The Lincoln Sphere on the Morphling is not even done yet, and we're still looking for that mech on the Darkseer. 14 minutes in.
This is gonna be such a sad time though. Like, if we watch, like, after TT start, if they can't complete these core items. Or if they just take so long, like we're 25 minutes in and we're still asking the question, like, how long until Lincoln Sphere is done? How long until Midas pays off? Like, if we're still asking those questions 25 minutes into this game, then this game has kind of gone back to the way it was predicted to happen.
Yeah.
Just momentum unstoppable for MVP. They go after kill, and there's just no answer back. And the Dice here looks like he might... Actually, they didn't put an Observer Ward down aggressively. There's a defensive one on the cliff side next to the Tier 1 tower on top. So they don't see the Darkseer moving north.
They have to make sure that whenever Lifestealer jumps into the Axe, they go and do stuff, though, because...
Yeah. Lifestealer's wasting time now.
Lifestealer has been in this Axe for quite some time. The smoked up didn't get anything done, but moving down towards bottom lane again, where the Radiant are pressuring hard into the Tier 1.
The Observer Ward's going to see them.
They need some TPs.
Just on the cliff. This time they're using the Morphling as bait. There's 10 stick charges on him. The boulder forward ball charging into a China shop. Doesn't break any plates, however, as MVP do not initiate.
The plates nearly broke him. I'm surprised they didn't just jump with the Axe onto the Earth Spirit. Very, very timid there from MVP Hot 6. Maybe indicative that they know that if they... The thing is that MVP are very strong, right? But if they get outplayed in a team fight and they lose a team fight, that suddenly gives a massive, massive burst here to the Radiant side. It pushes the Morphling past Lincoln's into, you know, closer to his E-Blade, closer to the Boots of Travel, and now closer to a kill on the Shadow Demon.
Yeah, they managed to pick him off. The kick gonna fly up, misses the Ogre. Everyone's backing out. TT didn't really want to force the fight too hard then. The mech just got completed thanks to the gold that came from the death of the tower. So Darkseer is flying that out to himself at the moment. And that's another one of those critical timings from TT. They needed to have this. The second one is going to be his Blink Dagger. That will help set up without relying on Earth Spirit getting a... Like, that was a blind boulder he was looking for. Having an Invis room definitely helps.
Oh, and he spots out the two big beefy tanks as well.
The Radiant Scan's going to trigger. They realize there's more heroes around the corner. So they'll find the Lifestealer, doctor to the neighborhood, so if Earth Spirit has any inkling to attempt this, it's going to get scattered out. The Observer Ward also sees the Oracle hovering around. So they have to know something is up. And in fact, Storm just goes it. He goes on the Oracle, the boulder forward, he false promises himself. You do have the Magnetize slowing things down. They'll back it back in again. Mech for the extra heal. Oh, follow-up stuns. MVP. They don't have enough juice for this. They don't have enough people. Only now have the supports really arrived over. But the waveform looking to find a kill. It's the infested Lifestealer inside the ASD who will die together. MVP, a horrendous fight for them. They thought they were the ones with the upper hand. They just weren't ready for the Invis ES.
They're just outplaying them. Every step of the way. Every step of the way, the Radiant team are just baiting MVP and goading them into taking these fights where they've got more backup. They just know that if they have the numbers advantage here, they're going to take the fight. MVP are going in, you know, 2v3, 2v4, thinking they can get the quick pick, but always getting caught off guard by the fact that Oracle is not poor. You look at the net worth and you kind of expect 17 minutes into the game for Oracle to be, you know, down in the dumps, but it's not so. The Axe with 5.5k net worth isn't able to jump and catch anyone. The Oracle actually has, you know, raindrops, arcane boots, and even a windlace level 8.5. It's insane how much he got from that bottom lane. You know, he was level 6 early on, but making rotation sip up into the top lane and getting, you know, plenty of levels on your supports is incredibly important. While you look at Shadow Demon and Ogre, they don't really have too much between them.
They really don't. This is troublesome for MVP Hot 6. They were a team which we were looking to be favorites to qualify for the LAN, and they may go down to TT, and this is a very volatile style way that we run the tournament. It's all best of ones. You win 3 best of ones in a row, and you got yourself a ticket booked all the way over to Malaysia for the LAN finals. $150,000 prize pool just for the Dota. There's also 50k up for grabs for the CS. If you haven't been watching, every Saturday you'll find the CS stream, and every Sunday you'll find the Dota stream. Next week is SCA's turn as we go through qualifier after qualifier, so make sure you are following up the channels if you're watching on the ESL channels or here on the Asus ROG channel as well.
This Invoker is going to become incredibly nasty. Actually swinging into the Aghanim Scepter as his next item after the Midas. He doesn't care about positioning or mobility items. Doesn't need Force Staff or Blink. Doesn't think Your Scepter's necessary here at all. Even the drums. You know, he's got his stats from the urn as well as the North Talisman. He just wants that Axe up and running.
Doctor, they want to go on him. Boulder forward.
Perfect.
The perfect pullback. The instant silence on the Storm Spirit. No way to quickly react to it. And that's what they had to look for before. Like, we saw their initiation over on the lifesteal. It just didn't work the same way. Bull gets his timing perfect.
This Earth Spirit has done incredibly well this game, I've got to say.
Top tower
He did miss a couple of rolls early on, but since then his silences, his stuns, they've all been on point and catching out these key heroes, the Lifestealer and the Storm Spirit. Storm has finished off his Bloodstone though. He's got that going for him, which is nice.
He's got that going for him, but look at the Morphling's farm. This Morphling's sitting on 3 grand
top tower is
after
under
finishing
attack.
his Lincoln Spear as well. The Lifesteal's not having enough of an influence. He was trying to Ancient Black Dragon the bot lane. It's got Infest available to jump inside the Axe, and finally we see MVP doing, like, the only way they found themselves a really good time before. A Blink initiation over onto the Invoker. A quick rage, the Silence won't do anything here, but the False Promise, it'll do more. Storm Spirit jumping forward, the Invoker will still end up popping over towards the Earth Spirit now. Can't rolling Boulder away. The Darkseer was there to help out, but he gets purged up, so no movement speed. He will instantly die. A little bit further down, it's the Oracle who's on the run. And that's what MVP needed to get themselves back into this game. Finally, they actually use their combo.
Finally, they have the numbers advantage, Toby. The entire game, for 20 minutes, they've been fighting at a deficit. And for once, the first time in the game, really, where they have the big numbers advantage apart from... Like the bot lane tier 1 was a 5v5, straight up, head-on-head. This one, the Morphling is MIA. He's bottom lane farming, and MVP know this. They know they can exploit, abuse this. They jump in. And they've just got enough control, enough damage. Axe gets a couple of good dunks, but it's just a face rush into kills. Storm Spirit now with 3 additional Bloodstone charges is going to be happy with that. Axe with a Blade Mail. And all the praise I've kind of been laying here on the Radiant team, where they know where to fight. They've been outplaying. They've been doing very well in choosing the terms and location of actual battles in this game. They push too hard, they get a little bit too greedy. They think they can finish that tier 2, and sure enough, it's on 147 HP and can be denied now. But they just pushed that a little bit too far.
Same time, MVP can't throw away the advantage they were just able to gain. Like, overall, the Morphling is still huge, and he is going to be a real problem. They haven't had that shutdown period, which they were hoping for during the laning phase, so Morphling will be one hell of a problem. And the Lifestealer and the Storm Spirit, they do have the means to deal with him, but it's still a Morphling. He can still escape out. You don't have heavy disable from both these heroes. It was the Bloodstone first. Storm Spirit, great time to have that, as he took the fight already up to 15 Bloodstone charges. It's like, what they need to do is almost focus the Invoker and leave the Morphling alone, so that then they can deal with him. And the Invoker actually cold feeded the creep wave. I don't know if this actually got pinged out from MVP, but they have to realize that something is awry. Just trying to Ghost Walk. There it is. Cold Snap. Short jump. And away.
And they've got the SD behind them as well. But yeah, the Storm Spirit, when he gets to Zorka, it's going to become an Oracle hunting machine. I'll just jump in the back lines, but right now he's hunting.
Long jump
Earth
down.
Spirit.
Keep the stuns going. And the Axe going to Culling Blade him down.
Dire's bottom tower
There's your blink for
is under
Darkseer.
attack.
So they do have at least some form of a counter initiation now.
They're going to look towards Roshan in a second. If Lifesteal can finish that top tower off, I'm not going to say it's going to open up the map. It's more about the money he's going to get from it. He's almost got enough for his Desolator. So there's Armlet plus Echo with the Desolator. Roshan's not difficult for MVP to get. And then teamfights become a lot more complex for TT. Like, how do you win a fight when you have a second life on one of these heroes?
Yeah, I am wondering who the Morphling tries to focus with E-Blade. Because I think that's one of the biggest things here, right? Is how Morphling gets that pick off to give them that advantage in the team fight.
You got to take out the Storm Spirit, right? Like, he's the one that's going to chase you and grab you.
Unless you get the Earth Spirit combo, I don't think you can. He's too tanky.
Then what else do you do? Like, you get a guaranteed kill, which is the one you get over on the SD. Demon. Like, he's probably the most guaranteed, because you're not going to say, well, I can get Ogre, I can get Axe. Rolling Boulder up on the top lane, the Rage, and now TP. A little bit later on the TP, but he'll still have enough time.
Yeah, like Axe is super tanky and has Blade Mail. Ogre, of course, has got a ton of HP. I don't know. It's a tough one. There's no like I'm going to go in and kill off one hero and that's going to give us a massive swing in the team fight, because even SD could potentially disrupt himself. It's not an easy one.
Here we go again. 3 men smoke up. It's the same men as well. Combine it with the Infest, same location. Storm Spirit going to get himself a double damage room before this fight begins. Doesn't have a TP scroll, so we'll just have to walk his way up. And the top tier 2 tower's already gone, but they blink in, and there's your call. False promise. It'll keep the Invoker up, but then the jump on the back lines. The Storm Spirit made sure that there was no more Oracle in this engagement. With the extra purge, they're trying to bring down the Morphling, and this one's going to be the bigger task. Do they have enough damage? The ball away, the magnetizes the SD. It's the last attack that was able to reach him from the Invoker, but Invoker will give up his life. A triple kill for Doctor. But they want more. The Blade Mail from Axe, he is very, very tanky. But is he tanky enough? They want to get him up further. There's your E-Blade pop to find the kill. So the Morphling shows he's got a lot of power, but the Storm Spirit also gets a lot from that fight too. And he's not... is he done? He's done.
Yeah, there's no mana to zip further. So apparently what they do with the E-Blade is they hold it until Lifesteal's Rage is gone. E-Blade him, so not only can he not attack people, but he also gets bursted down incredibly fast by that magic damage. But it's a sloppy play from MVP, because they went in faster than Storm Spirit could actually get into the backlines, and we saw the effect of that right there, is that Invoker gets hit by the False Promise. He actually gets saved by the Oracle, and then like 1.5 seconds later, maybe 1 second later, the Storm is on the Oracle trying to kill him off when he's already cast his spells. If that had been swung by, you know, half a second, 1 second, then you look at the Oracle dying, then the Invoker dying, and then what's left? The Morphling has to retreat. Then it's a full tail between legs. Get the hell out of here from the Radiant team, and there's no turnaround, there's no counter initiation, there's no kills coming from them either. So MVP slightly off, but you can see the strength of their lineup and how they should be executing. And if they execute perfectly, they definitely have the better team fight in a 5v5.
It's just going to be really difficult though, because we still have like, and we kind of been really disrespecting him. The Darkseer, he just completed up his Greaves. I guess should be coming on the courier. They smoke in, the blink, the call, they find the Morphling. False Promise will go again. A little bit too late for Doctor to get in there, but he causes problems for Cadus. And maybe with the Lifesteal raging up, they have enough to work with. Mentally broken, makes a break for the tree line, goes invis, but he's still walking in the middle of them all. They can magnetize up, but all they really lost was a Storm Spirit, who'll be instantly respawned back up almost instantly.
He should not have died, Toby.
Why should not he have died?
Because he can ball lightning. He died to Earth Spirit Tick. It's one of those panic moments where you see the damage ticking over, you see the debuff on you, you're like, maybe I can just survive without. Oh no, I should have.
He had Bloodstone charges to spare. Oh. No real issue, and now we can have an Aegis Immortal as well.
There's no such thing as spare Bloodstone charges, Toby. No, it's like saying, hey sir, you got any spare change? No.
Yeah, I got £100 note. We're good.
Go on then, hand it over then.
Yeah, no. Just because it's spare doesn't mean it's yours. Alright, so Roshan's now going to finally go down. Lifestealer able to get enough money to finish up that Desolator at the end. Sunstrike's going to just scout it out, but it's all too late. So Storm Spirit, now he's got the second life, and okay, that is a replicant. But it definitely shows the mindset of Doctor.
Yeah. Find, hunt, kill Oracle. Any chance you get. You see Oracle, you kill him. Morphling is split pushing away though with a bit of travel, and now moving into the Manta style.
They're getting ready to smoke. They do have one over on the Earth Spirit. Might be wanting to check for wards first, however.
They're all moving back towards this mid and top lane. And MVP have to address the push that Morphling had applied.
Where's the party?
You kind of know that MVP are all going to be grouped around this top.
I think MVP's okay with this, right? Because they want the tier 1 tower top, but they want to fight on top of the tier 1. With an Aegis the Immortal, MVP's going to be feeling so good. Like they'll be like, hey, Doctor, run in there, be a sponge. Soak up every ability you possibly can. If you can kill off the Oracle, absolutely fantastic. Then everyone else comes in.
Well, I mean, there's no save for the Oracle.
Yeah. Well, Oracle is the save.
I just mean
if he saves himself, he does pick up a Ghost Scepter. just before this fight begins, so he's got somewhere to save himself from the lifestealer. But the Storm won't care. Like, the Storm does have some good pop damage with Overload.
Let's see.
Dire's middle
Oh, that's the thing,
tower
like, he
is
can't
under
hit the Oracle once he's Ghost Scepter.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure the Storm can kill the Oracle through Ghost Scepter.
It's actually really good item, isn't it?
It's a very good
he doesn't
pickup.
have to false promise himself. And now MVP can be caught with their pants down. TT's going to rotate around the back. Dire's scanning the river. They think they're coming in through there. ST's going to see him. But they wait for no! They thought they're still on the tree lines.
They moved forward, lads.
Yeah, they did. Now, the shortest range blink onto the Morphling. The false promise will be there. The axe gets completely exploded. Darkseer, no real factor. Lifesteal's trying to bring him down. And Morphling, well, the false promise will now wear off. But it's the backlines. Actually, I still just want to stick with this Lifestealer. See how much he can do. Even if the Storm Spirit is doing work against the Oracle. It's Cowabunga in the tree line. Waveform down. He's away. But the rest of MVP can team up. Doctor can rejoin his team. Invoker, the TP, one swipe. It's
really?
actually enough. He dies to the Ogre.
In the fountain, no less.
That had to be an Ignite tick.
Oh my goodness.
That's all that was.
That was close. That was very, very close.
If he got out there, then TT would be very happy with the engagement.
That's Aegis not being lost as well, Toby.
Okay, maybe not so happy with the engagement.
Yeah.
And there's going to be an Arcane Rune in the top river for the Storm Spirit. He could actually turn and fight this one if they see Bull.
Such a wonky fight as well. Starting with a waveform into the trees, the axe blinks like sub 100 range. He blinks like
What was with that? He's just like, Morphling?
Well,
you're mine.
like he doesn't want to blink blind into the backlines, and he wants to make sure that he 100% catches the Morphling, because he was in that weird spot where Berserker's Call may hit, likely hits, but may not hit. Like if the Morphling turns away or gets the waveform off, he wants to make sure he jumps and catches, like guaranteed. That's what the short range blink was.
But it's another one of those fights though where you initiate knowing that false promise will be used on the target. You initiate on.
But, it's better that it's used on the Morphling than the Invoker.
Yeah, true. I think next time I'm going to follow up that Storm Spirit with his maneuver, because I thought, you know what, because the fight split into two different parts. At that point I'm like, you know, Lifesteal's probably going to do the most amount of work, and it looked like he was, but it's against heroes that don't really matter, aka Darkseer. He's just running around with a couple of iron shells, gives the heal off when he possibly can. But it's a team combo where there is no combo. Okay, Storm Spirit trying to go for first the Morphling and second the Courier.
And gets neither.
Yeah. The Lifesteal's got a lot of money on him too. 3.3k gold. Starting to bank up.
Invoker is continuing to farm. He does need a lot more points.
He hasn't really progressed in his items though.
In the
like he's picked up the Aghanim's a while ago, and now he's like for the guy who actually had what he had all 4 of those kills by 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Has done nothing but die and assist since this point.
It's been a rough one.
The Morphling's kind of taken all the glory. Like he's 3-0-10, hit 300 CS in 32 minutes. That's a nice little thing for him. You also draw up over the Lifestealer. They do get the silence, the back into a 2-man wall. Glimmer Cape trying to protect. It only protects the Ogre, however. He didn't actually hit the Lifestealer with that. And now into mid lane, the SD Disruption dodges at least the ball in, but the rest of TT were all surrounding him, ready to fight.
That's so important for them as well.
Regeneration.
I mean, with the Dire team having their kind of they're kind of in the window of execution now. They're in the period of the game where they need to take the tier 2s, kind of consolidate their lead and say, you know what, we're looking decent, but we're not as far ahead as maybe we feel we are, because it's definitely like a feel-based team, right? They've got the items they need to go and fight, but when you look at difference in net worth and difference in XP, there's like none whatsoever. There's the XP the gold net worth graph shows there's no difference between the two.
There's Storm Spirit, the jump and initiation. They got the Oracle. He's on the sidelines for now, but it may not matter when the axe can get completely exploded with a shotgun morph. Earth Spirit will lose his life. So a 2-for-1 trade-off. They would really like to find more here, but everyone is bailing. The Midirax is maintained. But that was good disengage from TT. They realized the second that Oracle's gone, this is not a fight they want to have.
That's perfect for them. Buy back Lifestealer, the axe dies, they lose their 2 supports. That is basically no loss for them whatsoever. It's the bull rush down the mid lane now. you know, I gave...
They need buildings. They need trade.
Yeah, for sure. Right now, you know, 35 to 45 minutes is kind of their time to say we need to end the game during this 10-minute period, because if we don't, we are going to just continue losing and losing and losing ground over and over again against the Morphling and Evoker, who will split push us, rat us, and Darkseer will actually scale better than us because of his vacuum wall combo.
I really don't know what that was from MVP just then. Like, the live sealer infested inside of Doctor, like he was expecting Doctor to jump. Then they realized that everyone came back up again and False Promise wasn't used during the last team fight. Thought, you know what, this is a bad idea. And all that thought process happened in like half a second.
We're going in? No, we're going to. No.
Massive, massive indecision.
Not happening. Lifestealer BKB.
Like you said it, man. Like, they're waiting for the rage to wear off and then they screw with him. Or what happens if you get silenced at the very start? Trigger your BKB, you break free of it.
They need something to try and give him any potential to lay down some damage onto these heroes, and if BKB does it, and so be it.
Does TT actually have enough damage when those BKBs are up? Because you got both Storm and Lifestealer with a BKB, and the Axe is... I'm not going to say he's rapidly approaching his, but he's getting there bit by bit.
It's difficult to say. I mean, what they could do is like force BKBs with Tornado from Invoker, like Tornado MP to force BKBs, disengage, and then jump back in once they're down. That could definitely be their game plan. I don't think they can fight like head on into the BKB heroes. They might look for the guys on the back lines, but then you look at them and it's like an Ogre and an Axe and Shadow Demon, who's going to be pretty far away with his Ether Lens, able to give him that long range disruption and purge.
A good obs and sentry down for TT, so MVP can't reach the backlines you're talking about. Roshan is a very quick respawn. He'll be up in 15 seconds, maybe even 10. So they'll have a quick peek. You can leave a Forge Spirit sitting in there, and it will definitely be up by the time Roshan spawns. And MVP may not realize this. Okay, so Roshan spawns up. TT is aware. And I'm wondering if they're confident enough that they can just jump in and try and take it.
Looks like that's the plan. I mean, they draw them top lane with the Morphling. Manta's up, but replicates back into the pit. And MVP are just bunkered down in their base, too afraid to move out at this point.
So this is where my question mark came, is like, do they have enough damage to kill off the BKB style heroes? We see Morphling slowly working his way through Roshan.
Yeah.
Like, you give a buff of Alacrity, like, it's working, but it's still pretty damn slow. They're going to get it. MVP are none the wiser. They actually have to wait inside their base. Everyone's missing, so they're either assuming that TT is smoke ganking or they're killing Roshan. And they're too late to deal with Roshan. They smoke inside their own base. Now they realize it happened. They're still coming down. They put an obs and sentry down themselves so they can see up on the high ground. Yeah, okay. They know there's no joy. TT will come to them eventually anyway.
Invoker, Morphling has BOTs obviously, he's shoving this mid lane. I just wonder if he wants to boost a travel bot lane, and Invoker needs to keep a Force Spirit for them.
Why did they give the Axe to a Morphling? Like, I know you're basically running with 3 Morphlings the next fight, thanks to Aegis and then buy back into BTs.
Why did they give the what to the who?
The Aegis to the Morphling.
Oh.
Instead of someone like the Invoker who's been ganked time and time again.
It's to do with hitting towers. So Morphling could just go and stand and hit tier 3 and not be afraid at all. But it's also because they want to force promise the Invoker like 9 times out of 10.
That waveform up. Lincoln's the call. He's so far away from the rest of his team. He'll jump out to the replica, so he does get away to safety. Cops a fair amount of damage for his efforts, however. I suppose it doesn't matter when you got an Oracle.
Oracle and Greaves Darkseer, yeah.
You just have to be concerned with the Culling Blade. Like, he was dropping very low.
I mean, you want to force promise the Invoker like 9 times out of 10, just to make sure he can continue fighting, because he has no escape whatsoever. He's got like no Yules, no Force, no Blink, no anything. Can't really ghost walk out of fights. So you want your Morphling to feel as safe or as invulnerable as you possibly can make him, which is
pretty damn safe right now.
Yeah, I would say so. He's got nearly a butterfly done as well.
Instead of getting like a Scythe advice from Doctor, which I thought was what he's going to do, so he has like Orchid to trigger Lincolns, then the follow-up Scythe. He's gone for a full Bloodthorn. And this up against a Morphling who's got a lot of escapes, a lot of ways to break free. Like, he's still got Manta style available as well as the Lincolns.
Yeah, they need to pop the Lincolns with like Ogre Stun or Battle Hunger from Axe or something, because once the butterfly's up for Morphling, they have no way of getting through the evasion.
Storm Spirit's getting a trade-off. He's going to take the tier 2 tower as TP Scroll just came off cooldown, so he can come back to base as Morphling waveforms in, adaptive strikes to the Axe, the Blade Mail returning a fair chunk of the damage. But the rest of MVP is doing a good job. They're just slowly holding it back. You keep the poison spam going. You make us they waste the Aegis and even just copying the Morphling. So we basically start slapping himself across the face while Storm Spirit, mopping up the creep wave, now hits into the tier 3 tower in mid. And they got a question mark. Okay, they are coming back. Tornado will fly out. Doctor will evade. Earth Spirit boulders himself forward, but Storm with another jump, a longer jump. That's never a huge amount to work with, but it's enough. But he forces a retreat. And he knows he can solo someone. Like if Earth Spirit just comes by himself, he can solo the Earth Spirit. He might even be able to... there's still the Lincolns. He has to trigger the Lincolns first.
Yeah, even if he takes out the Lincoln Sphere, he needs Vortex and Bloodthorn to both land to actually kill him off.
Yeah.
Else the Invoker's just going to sprint himself away back to safety.
Yeah, no reveal.
Yeah, exactly.
Just got to survive the initial brunt of the attack. No, this is the dream time for TT as far as like positioning goes for their draft. Like all these heroes should be online and working well now.
Yep. 3 minutes left on the Aegis. They've got Butterfly on the Morphling. Should be coming out any time now once he decides to spend his gold. He's got Quarterstaff on the courier, so I'll just send that over to a secret shop and speed it out to him.
And this is the timing too where we didn't think TT would reach. The fact they got here is already just fantastic. But yeah, the Darkseer is useful now. He's got a Lotus Orb. So even if you do get the Silence, Lotus Orb is just... Yep. Removed.
Greaves and Lotus Orb.
Yep.
Unsilence himself and then unsilence someone else.
Save himself and his teammates.
Got double Lincolns, Greaves, Lotus Orb, False Promise, Yule Scepter. They've got so many ways of dealing with MVP at this point.
Yeah, they do.
And MVP even through, like, BKBs, you know, we talked about them for a couple of minutes back when they purchased them, but there's something that we didn't really talk about, the fact that BKBs give you the defensive capability, and on Storm Spirit and Lifestealer and Axe, in this game, BKBs are kind of a necessity, but they're always an item that you're afraid to buy because if it doesn't work out, it's like a lost investment.
Yeah.
If you don't get that impetus and momentum going forward after buying the BKB and win a couple of team fights, then you're like, well, I just spent $4 grand on something that didn't win us the game. If I got a damage item, if I didn't get got a damage item, would have killed people.
It's like we survived for now. Like they've got 2 10-second BKBs and 1 9-second BKB. Because the Axe has completed his 10-second BKB.
And they regret not buying Dagons, all of them. I guarantee you.
Oh, jump. Darkseer. Trying to vacuum catch the Storm Spirit out of position. Not happening, however. A Mentally Broken's given enough momentum to the top lane. Assume that's going to be a problem for MVP. Cowabunga just runs in. He's still got his Replicate up, so he's not too concerned. The Rage happens. A quick E-Blade pop onto the Axe. Does not use his Blade Mail. MVP trying to be as elusive as they can. Like Glimmers, Forces, whatever you've got. Just maneuver around TT as much as you can. That Aegis the Immortal doesn't have long left. Like, it's only got maybe, what is that, 30 seconds? I don't even think it's even a minute and a half now. Cowabunga, ST, he sells the one target he could go for. The 10-second BKB from the Axe has been triggered as well. On the back lines, Doctor, he's got an Invis Rune. He's got an Invis Rune and Oracle by himself. Like, this is the best chance they've had, but they've got to fight it without the SD. That's the stupidest thing in the world about this situation. The fact that they can jump the back lines. There's no Observer and Sentry down. The kick's coming in. There's the Axe. More distraction so he can try and pop the Oracle. And they brought him down. Cowabunga almost picking up the Lifestealer. But it's the Storm Spirit in the back lines. Trying to do the work, but he has to ball lightning himself in further forward. He does have the Replicate just a little bit further up north. But they get the call up. The control. The EMP is going to burn through Storm Spirit. No mana. But he doesn't actually... He can't instant spawn. He doesn't have enough for a buyback. Now, sorry, I take it back. He doesn't have enough money for his buyback. I didn't see it as a thing there. Either way, ball lightning forward. He's got to catch up to the Morphling.
Lincoln's Lotus Orb, waveform, jump away, TP out, and he's gone.
Almost too easy. Earth Spirit gets called up.
Well done. You get the Earth Spirit.
It's a consolation prize only, though.
They defend their racks, but this is just a sign of things to come. This is this is wave 2 of like Rommel's army coming into Africa. This is not looking good. You know, we knew it was coming. We knew that post 40 minutes, like it is literally like once the game reaches 40 minutes, your Morphling and your Invoker have items. It's like, well, they're going to be knocking on your tier 3s, they're going to be knocking on your Axe, and if you haven't won the early game hard enough with your Lifestealer and the Axe, you are going to be at a massive deficit here.
Series now. Are they waving our spears at us? No, that's not their they're not their spears. TT looking to slaughter MVP.
What the hell is that from?
It's a 2v card joke. The enemy are advancing and they're waving their spears at us. Wait a minute. That's not their spears. Are you actually looking up the joke?
No, the gods must be crazy. For some reason I thought that was a quote from the gods must be crazy. I don't know if you've seen that movie.
I most definitely have.
That's a
and
classic.
I can never look at a Coke bottle lying on a beach the same way again.
Oh, I need to go back and watch that actually.
It's just a classic.
It's been a long time.
I'm just looking at Doctor. He doesn't know what to do. Like, he needs a scythe. And he needs, like, you've kind of amplified the damage for everybody by picking up the Bloodthorn. But without the Scythe of Vice, he can't do jack. Without his buyback, he also can't defend the base. Because he knows he's going to die the first time he goes in. At this point of the game. And the BKBs kind of felt pointless. The Axe control isn't enough. The SD, as you saw before, also just gets popped. The Ogre is at least able to survive through the engagements, but he doesn't bring enough damage anyway.
And Morphling is completely out of control at this point. 7-0-11. He's pretty much 6-slotted. And Cowabunga, you saw in that last fight, he's behind tier 3 up on top lane. Just not caring about Axe calling him, chasing Lifestealer past tier 4s, diving almost into Fountain. And the people look down on bottom lane for any scraps they can find. But the Mongolian team just back out, retreat, and continue the split push game. Like, MVP are just being drawn from one side of the map to the other. They're pushed top, pulled bot, shoved mid. I don't know if they...
It's not easy being MVP. If they win this game, like, it's going to be absolutely in a spectacular fashion of probably horrendous teamfight from TT. Because TT still, like, they can trip on a hurdle, and the primary hurdle being going up into the base of MVP. This is, I think, the reason why MVP are being a lot more vigilant about Roshan this time around. They do not want Aegis and Cheese in the hands of TT. If this happens, then pushing high ground has become crap ton easier. Doctor, react, ball lightning up. Now the blink, Axe call gonna miss. They back into a two-man hit. SD gonna have to be the sacrificial lamb here. But at least scouts out the smoke maneuver of TT, which could have just gone straight in through the mid.
He's dead with that buyback as well.
We should bring that menu up now.
No,
So buyback's available. The only 3 available are actually the 3 cores of TT.
Oh look, it's a Morphling with Lotus Orb and Lincoln Sphere and another Lincoln Sphere
Blink
and
call.
Alacrity.
He played almost. Oh, okay. Yep, that hurts. That hurts a lot. The Axe is dead, and with him, the hopes of this game may have gone because they don't have their controlling tank anymore. So Morphling doesn't care. He's alacritied up, hitting around 500 a pop. The Rax don't stand a chance. And MVP have no answer. So they try and go for somebody else. Who, though? No one's out of position. Doctor's out of position.
I'm not
getting
answering
cold
that
snap.
question, Toby.
Back in again. Can continuously cold snap. Ball lightning's away. Down to the tier 3 tower on bottom lane, but that's now gone. The Axe is up in 30 seconds, and that'll be the last fight. Gemma True Sight gets lost. The Lotus Orb going to reflect the SD. I don't know if that's really a win for the Morphling there. Either way, I don't think he really cares. One adaptive strike. He doesn't even have to waste the E-Blade on him. And Lifestealer, you see just how far behind they are. Morphling will now man-fight everybody. E-Blades himself. Now the false promise hits. So just when Storm thought he was going to catch a break, well, he gets snapped. He'll jump back in for the kill on Cowabunga, but the regeneration is just too much. This game's over. It's GG.
Yeah, this game's super over. I'm trying to think back now to like moments in the game that had more bearing than the initial rune fight. I don't think there were any. There were lots of little moments that kind of led to laning phase going decently for the Mongolian team. But that initial rune fight where Invoker goes 2-0, doesn't get smashed by the Ogre Storm.
Yep.
They managed to stop the lifesteal from going to lane for like 1.5 waves. Darkseer moves up there. Morphling in the meantime was farming bot. Everything like across the board, the Mongolian team like had a step up and another step up from what they should have had in laning stage, because actually like smashed bot lane. Storm should have been fine with the Ogre against the Invoker mid.
Maybe that's something you can put it down to, because I thought the Ogre rotation was very passive. Compared to what it was in the last game, like that Darkseer, the second I saw the Iron Talon on him, I thought this game is going to be going to absolute arse, because Ogre's going to sit there. And there was a very early Dire Observer ward that got put down watching the Darkseer farm. And what did Ogre do? He walked away. He didn't get involved. He could have just stuck around. He could have leached the experience. It could have made life a little bit harder. Like, it's a Darkseer who's trying to run an Iron Talon and then tank up creep camps and farm. Like, that doesn't work for very long. You got to keep running back and forth. That's why he came back up to the top lane, because he regenerated and thought, maybe I can get some experience out of this lane. Then straight back down to it. So he found levels, he found farm, and then Morphling had time because the Ogre, like...
They ganked bot once and killed the Oracle, but Morphling was still fine. I think if we look at the scoreboard and refreshing like my memory about this, I think that outside of that top rune fight, where it went well for the Radiant, Bull on Earth Spirit had an exceptional game. The fact that he missed like 2 rolls or something out of his first 4 in the first 5 minutes. Outside of that, he was like perfect with every one of his combos. Yep. Stun silence onto the Storm Spirit, catching him onto the lifesteal. Both heroes very, very heavily reliant on their spells for their escapability and damage. And Earth Spirit was like the perfect 5th pick. I didn't think it would be able to do enough. And it definitely showed that it was kind of mediocre in the early laning stage, because we've come to expect Earth Spirit as this like early roamer. You gank mid, you kill him, you kill him, you kill him.
Yeah.
But he was kind of passive and a little bit timid the first 3-4 minutes. But once they got the Darkseer a few levels in the jungle, they became a force to be reckoned with.
And when he finally started hitting those silences right too.
Yeah.
Like the boulder in, then the perfect silence pull back. I remember that one moment on the top lane underneath the tier 2 tower. Like, he just found that perfect timing to lock the Storm Spirit in. And Storm just got to sit there and take it. He couldn't get away, didn't have his BKB by that point, and then that pushed MVP into defensive items. You're saying to yourself, like, you're picking a BKB after BKB, but does this actually help you win the game?
No.
The answer is most definitely no. All it does is prolong the game to a point where you thought your combo could do work, but you were so far behind that the Morphling just shredded you apart. And with that, MVP Hot 6, they're out of the ROG Masters. They will not be coming to the LAN finals in Malaysia for the $150,000 prize pool.
But MOL will.
Instead, we got ourselves a Mongolian team who will be appearing. We could actually have more as well. The broadcast is not over today, so make sure you stay tuned. We've got 3 more best of ones to go through as the other half of the bracket. You can check out the website for all the information right there, which has all the bracket details and everything else, including the giveaway stuff you can get. But yeah, it's a huge opportunity. A Mongolian team coming to a LAN event. I haven't cast a Mongolian team at a LAN event since ISF, I think.
Yeah. You're right.
It's been a while. I also haven't cast an Australian team at a LAN event since...
Absolute legends.
Yeah, but when did they ever attend a LAN event that I actually cast?
TI?
No, that wasn't an Australian team then. They were absolute legends, but they were a blend team.
Oh, you're okay. You want a full Aussie team?
Yeah, like it's like I'm saying, okay, an Australian team. I cast newbie. Go KP Phoenix.
Okay.
And now he's part of the new newbie. Yeah. No, I haven't cast like a full Australian team, and we've got 2 coming from the region as well. It's gonna be interesting.
We could have 2 Mongolian teams. You know, looking at the bottom part of the bracket, we recognise the Mongols. Obviously, they've had some good results in the past, but you know, who can step up? We had no idea who this MOL team was, and we thought MVP Hot 6 would have an easy route through.
Especially when we looked at their drafts, like, hey, this could really, really work. But it's also, I think it's also that Achilles heel we've seen from a lot of other MVP teams. They draft aggressive, but they don't play aggressive. Yep. And you always have the analyst that sit there and go, you know what, I really wish they would embrace the spirit that is MVP. And we need to see them attack and be aggressive.
Run at people.
Yes.
Kill enemies. Just cast your spells.
Just kill. Like, that's it. And in a way they did. But the timing was a little off, and when they did do it, like, they hit 2 good fights out of probably 8.
Yeah.
And the 6 times they lost was because of bad vision. They just didn't know where to go.
And all of the fights they won were like on their towers. Tier 1 bot, Tier 3 top lane, Tier 2 mid. They were all like deep on their side of the map.
Yeah.
That's
break time. Break time. We've got 3 more best of ones coming your way. While we're in the break, make sure you go over to the giveaway page. You can win free stuff. And we will be back after this break for the second half of our day. Remember, you can also sign up for all the other competitions. SEA is next week, every Sunday, right on this channel. It's the ROG, the Aces ROG. You can tune in for all the Dota action. On every Saturday, you can tune in for the CS stuff. And we'll see you guys back here for the second half of the day.